This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Welcome to Hello Uglies, a Dragula recap show for Titan Season 2, Episode 1, titled Halloween House Party 2. My name's Joe Batance, and I am joined, as always, by the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself. She's the one, the only. Please say hello, Uglies, to Miss Laurian K. Rottenkamp. Hello, Laurian.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We had to redo the intro for... Why does this always get me? Anyway, for those of you who are listening on the public feed, and I'm going to give you two reasons why you should join Patreon. A, you are going to get the show, if you're on Patreon, at least a day early with no commercials. You're going to get it early. Full stop.
Okay.
And also, that's going to be a lot earlier for people because of my schedule and your schedule. The only time we can do it is later than when the episode actually comes out. So it's going to be later than usual. So if you really want it as soon as it comes out, you're going to want to join Patreon. But the other thing, too, is now the Patreon supporters know this, but the public feed people don't know this. Because people were bugging me. Where's Meet Our Monsters? Patreon got a Meet Our Monsters. So Meet Our Monsters exists over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia or on the Patreon app. The Patreon supporters got Meet Our Monsters.
Yeah.
Full stop there.
Full stop.
Full stop. But then Lauri and I, there was a whole drama. I'm not going to get into it. My producer's amazing. Dennis is great. I just had a tantrum.
You also have a cold, and you were coming down with a cold.
Coming down with a cold, working jury duty, which is really stressing me out. Because you know, and Lauri can relate to that. In a way, it sounds fun. And it is. It's very interesting. But it's taking up my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not getting podcasting done. I'm not getting a lot of things done because it's all jury duty. It doesn't feel good. You can't really dismiss it because there's a whole person's life in my entire hands. So,
oy vey.
Yeah, it's heavy as the head that wears the crown, Lauri. But you know I'm the foreperson, right, of the jury? I think I can say that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you get a crown if you're a foreperson?
I actually wear a crown the whole time I'm there. And then the other thing, too, is... Oh, so what I was going to say is... We released a teaser episode for this episode that came out days ago, and now we're recording the actual episode. What you're going to hear is going to be a Frankenstein version of that teaser episode into this. Hopefully you don't notice the seams. Yeah. But if you see, you would have gotten that early, you got an extra content, all this stuff. So patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. There's also a Patreon app. All of that available right there for you to listen to. All right. This week, 14 monsters are resurrected for a battle of the underworld crown. After pulling pins out of a voodoo doll for the fright feat, the monsters star in a sequel to the Halloween House Party and lip sync in teams in their best recreations of Halloween costume classics. In the end, Eva Destruction was named the winner of the challenge, while Abora, Dahlia, Cynthia, and Frankie were placed up for extermination. After bungee jumping for the extermination challenge, we were left on a cliffhanger as to which monster was exterminated. Lauri, a couple of questions here. Not only were the right monsters put up for extermination, but let's start with this. Did the right queen, Eva Destruction, win the challenge? Let's start there.
I don't know. I feel like If we're going by performance, no, I don't think she won the challenge.
Yeah.
But if we're going by look, then yeah, I could see an argument.
Her look
that
was incredible.
Yeah. But if we're going just by performance, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I hate to say it because I still find her so goddamn annoying, but Abhora was really good.
Abhora was great.
And
I think she maybe would have won if they wouldn't have put her up for extermination. But no, she could have still won. They did.
Honestly, I thought it would be hilarious if she won and she was up for extermination.
Remember in season 1, Vander won, and they went up to Vander and were like, "Look, you've never been an extermination. Will you just volunteer to be an extermination?" And she was like, "Okay."
Yeah, because they were like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. But if we're going based off the actual challenge, then no, I think Abhora should have won. But I think everybody?
I agree with both of the things you say.
Do I think that everybody, all the people except for Abhora, should have been in the bottom? Yes, because I find those people the most annoying. By
the way, Lauri, I want you to help me understand something, because a couple of the emails or messages that I've gotten. Mm-hmm. I realized when we agreed with each other, have mentioned something called the Drag Podcast Federation.
I'm not gonna. No, don't do this.
I don't know what this is. Do you know what this is?
Why are you doing this? You know what? You're delirious from a flu, so I'm not gonna get mad.
So this is not a thing. This is not a thing. I don't know about this.
Just stop it.
What is the Drag Podcast Federation?
I knew that you and Jeremy being friends again was going to bite me in the ass. Just stop it. Just stop it. I don't want to talk about it. It's not real. We've did this.
Were the right queens in the bottom?
Yes, because I found them all annoying. They're all the most annoying.
Let's go through this. Well, I like Abhora, actually. She was making me laugh this episode.
I still find her grating, but I thought she did a great performance.
Was bugging you?
I guess not.
He was the Jaharia of this episode. He did what? He was a non-presence.
He was kind of in the back. Cynthia Dahl. Literally, all my notes say, "Why is she screaming in her confessionals?"
Lauri, I literally have that in my notes. I'm like, why? There's even one where she blows the mic out.
Yes. So that I mean, honestly, I had a splitting headache when I was listening. I listened to it over on my lunch break on my training, and then I was like, "Great, now I got to take ibuprofen because I have a splitting headache."
Yes.
So yeah, Dahlia Black was just annoying the crap out of me with her.
She's so pretty,
but she is very pretty, but she just has this. I don't know. She's using. I feel like she's using clinical terms when she doesn't. It's not appropriate, like she's saying that, she keeps saying that they're bringing up their drinking, but then goes, "Oh, I didn't say you guys were drunks. I didn't say you guys had a problem. I just said you were drinking." It's like, no, that's what you were insinuating.
Well, I happen to agree with Dahlia Black, but we'll get to that when we get to that in our fantastic script. And then who else?
Who else was,
Well, you like Sigourney Beaver.
Sigourney Beaver, well, she got saved.
Yeah.
So I meant so I guess mainly just Cynthia Dahl and Dahlia Black. Because Frankie, I don't think, and then Abhora still great, but I mean, you can't deny that she did a good job.
She makes great TV.
Yeah.
She makes great TV. All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we are going to talk about our big takeaways from this episode. We'll be back right after this.
DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse, is the one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW has what you need, but more importantly, they have what you didn't even know you wanted. You never know what you'll find at DSW. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate. to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast Gems.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
And we are back. All right, Lauri, why don't you go ahead and tell us what was your big takeaway from this episode?
I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't know if this is a good big takeaway, but I was so thrilled and then immediately disappointed when I found out Vander Van On was not joining the Titans.
Oh, why would she?
Because I was like, oh, I think it would be fucking amazing to see her join and see her compete. And, she's the first winner. She's one of the most acclaimed drag queens of the show. I think it would be great. I was excited to see it.
It was surprising to me because I had heard rumors that they had a falling out. So Vander worked for the show for a while and then didn't, and there were rumors that they had a falling out. Maybe they're monsters to work with. Maybe the Boulets and I get along. Maybe we're both monsters to work for. And
yeah.
And by the way, and maybe we can still do this, I want to imagine at some point what it was like when Drac found out that the producer told her the wrong information. That was going to be the opening bit.
Yeah. He just murdered. Would it be funny if the person who gets murdered isn't one of the contestants?
Yes,
it's
the
just
producer
a
that gave
producer.
her the wrong information.
They're like, we had to kill this person first.
Yeah. And then, so then, Vander Van On. Yeah, Vander Van On did a really good job hosting. She would be really good as a host. She did a good job.
Yeah.
She brought the right
I love
energy.
Her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess that's not a big takeaway. I guess that's just a note from the show. I guess my big takeaway is, I feel like there's going to be a big issue going forward where these queens are going to conflate confidence with ego. And, I think once again, we're seeing them all turn on Sigourney Beaver because she's the lone, cisgendered female in the group.
Yeah. That is something I have as a discussion point. But yeah, it's not my big takeaway, but yeah, I get it.
They keep saying that she has too much ego. And it's like, yeah, of course you have to. To go on a competition, you have to have ego and think. And then they had that thing where they're like, does anyone think they're better than anyone? Because that's not the same as thinking you're going to win the competition. It's like, yes, it is. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of drag queens who also are very confident or have a big ego, but like, yeah, you're drag queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In order to perform and get out there and be like, I want to show my art to people, you have to have confidence in order to do it.
Yeah.
Some confidence, at least.
I think my big takeaway, and it's going to be no surprise, but there was literally nothing original about this episode. Like, they walked out. I don't know if they've done this fright feat before with a voodoo doll, but it's not that big of a deal, right? Then the main challenge was the exact one that they did from Titans 1. And then the extermination challenge was the exact extermination challenge from season 5.
Yeah, and they have that trapdoor, which they had.
What they improved, but then we haven't seen it in use yet.
But I think, yeah. It's just funny because I don't know when it was, but I think it was after Titans 1, right? Where they were like, this is now the new era of Dragula. And and it's just like,
it's the same shit.
Been the same.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same. In fact, even the guests are the same. It's David Duff Smulchin again, and then Victoria Elizabeth Black, who won already.
Yeah.
Everything's just the same. It's just reheated leftovers.
Yeah.
Which is still fun. It was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. I had a good time watching it.
I liked watching it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I liked watching it.
I feel like it's one of those things where, I relate everything to food.
Yeah.
So if I were to say, like, my wife's a really good cook, Star's a really good cook. So, like, if she were to be like, oh, I made you this great, your favorite meal, and then, and then I eat it, and it's not my favorite meal, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, okay, well, it's still good. I just was expecting something different.
Yeah. All right, Lauri. Well, why don't we move on to this script that I have all of a sudden?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go on to this script. All right. After making their entrances on the floor show stage, the monsters enter the lab and become reacquainted. The group questions Opora and Eva about their return to Titans for a second time. A drama brews up as the monsters dig up pre-show drama and openly talk about who they think their biggest competition is. Why don't we stop right here? Why don't we stop right here? What was your hot take here? And this can include the monster entrances. This could include everything that happened in the lab when they're getting reacquainted. What were your thoughts?
So I was talking to Star about this today because she watched the episode today. It just, with the fact that Abora and Eva Destruction are on the show and they've already done Titans 1, and then you have 4 queens have also been in Resurrection.
Yeah.
It just feels more to me like this is not a Titans season. This is a Who Said Yes season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my opinion. So I don't know. Look, I'm glad to see some of the queens back. I really am. But I just feel like it's like, why does Abora have to come back? Why does Eva Destruction have to come back? Even Loris, who I like now, why does she have to come back? You know? And so, so I was disappointed with that. And then I will say this. I was kind of happy to see that everyone was happy to see each other. It kind of made it seem like it's definitely all like a facade, the fighting and everything like that. Because you could tell like they all were hugging each other and saying hi and, And then immediately once they got in their like, arrangement, then that's when they were like, kind of catty with each other. But I feel like it's like all, on the level. So, and then as far as like the workroom, as far as like them asking who they thought was their biggest competition, honestly, I felt like Sigourney gave the best answer, and then everyone was immediately like, ugh, she thinks she's too hot she thinks she's hot shit.
What was her answer?
That her biggest competition is herself.
Oh, I hate that answer. I think that's the biggest bullshit answer. You like that answer?
I mean, yeah. Honestly, she's went very far in her competition, and the judges like her. The judges think she does have great looks. So she is a honest to goodness contender for the finale. And I feel like as long as she doesn't get in her own way, I would say the same thing about Eva Destruction. Eva Destruction historically gets in her own way. So I would say that, there's certain queens there that I feel like they don't have a chance in the world to make it to the finale. But yeah, for Sigourney, I definitely feel like that.
So let's start. I didn't ask you about this, and this isn't fair, but we can talk about it right here. Let's talk about this cold open, which focuses on a haunted house, and the Boulet Brothers are sitting on a couch, and they're introducing the episode. They've done this the past couple of seasons, and I understand probably they don't have it's funny that when they had a lower budget, they were making these elaborate cold opens.
They did more. Yeah.
And now they have a bigger budget, and now they just can't be bothered to do these elaborate. So now it's just like a typical Elvira style intro, but there's not much to talk about here. But
you are right. Something? But also it's like, I was just thinking, well, then maybe they put the money back in the show, but then it's like, I don't feel like they really, I mean, except for maybe like stage the cauldron and everything like that. But I don't feel like there's like too much money they put back in the show.
Yeah, so. I think over the year, it's funny I think that they've lost sight of what people really liked about the show. Because if you even think about last season, the exterminations were, I wouldn't call them lazy, but they weren't as imaginative as they used to be.
Yeah.
They made it also they could just do it in one take. They can all in other words, I think, and they might make the argument they had more time in the old days, but it's like you've kind of forgotten what everybody liked about about Dragula.
Yeah,
they've forgotten the imaginative exterminations and the imaginative cold opens.
And also, based off of what we see in this episode, they're going to be doing just the same exterminations they've done from previous seasons. So we're not going to see any new exterminations potentially in this season, which is a little disappointing because, I mean, that's part of it is to see what they're going to put the queens through who are in the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I still love, it used to annoy me, but now I still love that it's, there's this prevailing theory that somehow their performance in the extermination can cause them to go home. And it's like, no. So,
you're talking about the extermination challenge. I think we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the actual exterminations when they used to kill them. Haven't been as imaginative.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the...
No, that's all right.
Well, we haven't seen how they're going to... They left it in suspense, so we haven't seen... Maybe they do
maybe, but I just know, like, last year it was always, like, on a sound stage or something. Like, it was like that they were... Yeah. It was just like, oh, it's where we are, right?
Last year
I'm
was
just going to kill you right here. Yeah.
Yeah, last year was a little lackluster.
Okay, so these Boulet brothers, they judged their makeup. In fact, they even criticized Sigourney Beaver about her contouring, right?
I don't feel like it was contouring. I feel like it was just like a nitpicky. Like they even said, like we loved it, but one, So I don't feel like it was like they were being.
This Drac looks like she has a full-on beard in this cold open. I'm like, who did her fucking makeup? She should literally exterminate them. It's like literally it's supposed to give the illusion of like cheekbones and jawline, and Swan had it in spades. So Swan's was on point.
Yeah.
But Drax, maybe the way it looked on TV and not as maybe in real life you couldn't notice it, but it was, especially on her left side, was just like a huge brown beard on the left side of her face. It was insane.
I didn't notice it at all. Yeah. I didn't notice it at all. That's crazy. I'll have to go back and see that. As we know,
I'm a makeup expert.
Yeah.
I'm the Max Factor of drag.
Yeah.
People know
There's
this.
one thing about Joe is that he does podcasts and he does makeup.
Everybody knows this. Everybody.
Yeah. In fact, you're wearing full makeup right now.
So I have a few things on the monster entrances. Only a few. Jaharia, in her little confessional during her monster entrance, she says she was the confessional assassin. Now, I don't remember it, but I remember being really boring.
She was okay in the confessionals, but I don't feel like she was the assassin.
Yeah. Priscilla Chambers. Season 3 wasn't that long ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know when she became a super old lady.
I don't know. I love Priscilla Chambers. I think she cracks me up.
Why can't you love a super old lady?
I think she looks great. She looks like
why can't a super old lady look great? I'm just saying
she looks like an Shirley MacLaine. Yeah.
She looks like a country something. I don't know what it was. She looks like what she is, a country tattoo artist.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Drag country tattoo artist.
Yeah, we see some Cynthia Doll. She's doing that thing where she's really loud and leaning into it. She keeps saying bitch every time. What do you mean, bitch? And she's screaming so fucking loud. And it's in this part where she literally
all the time
overmodulate. The speaker blows out, like it overmodulates because she's screaming so loud.
She can't. There's one confessional where she's like sort of talking. She's still like very loud, but she's sort of talking less. She's not screaming, and you can tell that the producers were like, "Can you please just answer this in a low voice? Like, can you not scream?"
Okay, we get it. You're screaming. Okay, now let's go to the lab.
Oh, so I wanted to add something.
Yeah.
With what you were saying earlier, why was their entrance the backstage? It was such a poorly lit area, and they were like walking backstage, and you could barely see them when they were walking. And it was just like, why don't you just have like, if you're gonna have them come out from anywhere in the back, have them come out from like enter the stage in the front or something. But it was on that weird backstage where there were like wires and stuff.
So Dragula's always been like this, where it's a show that much more than Drag Race is so much more based on the looks. And yet, in every single possible way, they do everything they can to sabotage these girls on the looks. They don't light it well. They do these quick cuts on the on the
Challenges.
runway.
The runway.
On the floor show, I'm sorry, is what they call it.
Yeah.
I have to send these looks to our ghost host, right?
Yeah.
And it's very hard, but I think what's going to take, there is an advantage to us recording later than usual, is about 2 or 3 days after the episode drops, they actually drop the looks on their Instagram page. So I just can use those looks. Because I remember, though, when I would try and capture the looks to give the ghost host, it was super hard because they do these, you can't get the full look. They do these super quick cuts. They don't give you a chance to look at it. And then there's also this controversy in the Dragula world outside of the show. The Boulets forbid the contestants from tagging the people who design the outfits, and they have to pretend like they did it. So what the girls try and do, they'll do oh, special thanks, or they'll tag the designer, but they can't give official credit to the designer, which is
weird.
Kind of fucking sucky too.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah. They want, which is so funny. Like, this is the thing. And this is the same with Drag Race, but Dragula is even more guilty. They want to maintain these illusions, but then they don't maintain them themselves on their own show.
Yeah, they don't set it up correctly.
Yeah, so they want to maintain the illusion the girls design the outfits right there, but then there'll be times where they're like, well, you brought this outfit, or it's really bizarre. They're just really dumb. All right.
Yeah.
In the lab. So the girls, Abhora walks in, and the girls are like, what is she doing here? She was just here. And I'm like, well, why don't they do the same thing to Eva?
Yeah. Yeah, Disaster is like, why the fuck are you here? And then what I love is Blackberry goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And Abhora smartly was like, yeah, that's what we're all doing.
Yeah, everybody's there for the second time.
BT Dubs, my star, was like, I can't stand it when people say that. They're like, did you know the definition of insanity? She's like, no, it's not the definition of insanity. I was like, okay, thank you. She hates that. She also hates when people say they're videoing. I'm videoing you.
Well, I don't think it's, this is where I'm disagree with Star. I don't think it's the definition. I think it's a definition. I think somebody made that definition.
I think it's Albert Einstein said that. It was like a quote. Definition of insanity.
I don't know if it might be Albert, but I don't think it's Albert. That seems to me one of those things like an obscure psychologist wrote somewhere. And look, there are people who I don't believe anything I hear on the internet or from Lauri or from me. Don't believe anything I say either. I'm often wrong. But what I was going to say is, but the thing with that quote is it's not really incumbent upon the contestants. They're on a reality show. Of course, if you're trying to win a contest, you want to expect a different result.
Yeah.
That would be towards the producers is if Jaharia is still boring, then what did you expect?
Then bringing her on and expecting her not to be boring is, So, it was weird. It was weird that, don't get me wrong, I still find Abhora annoying. Like when she was at the end, when she was like, I don't know why I'm back. You have to ask the producers. It's like you decided to come back because you wanted to be on the show. I thought
it was funny.
I don't know. I thought it was annoying. I thought it was like her basically saying that she was like forced to do the show. And it was like, no, you agreed to it.
Oh, I thought it was her being like funny and campy. No. I don't know though. Different interpretations. So then they do this thing in the lab where they're like, oh, Zavaleta and JK don't get along. And I don't know how you felt about it, Lauri, but it seemed fake.
It seemed very fake. Also, it's a reality show. If you have beef with somebody, say what it is. Cynthia Dahl was very loud and annoying, but she was right when she said, if I had beef with somebody, I would just say it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't skirt around it. It's like, yeah.
Especially if they're experienced contestants, they know.
Yeah. I'm sure we're going to get it eventually, but
I just don't believe it. I believe that they're friends because they say they used to be besties. And then all of a sudden for the past couple of months, they haven't been. I'm like, they got together. It's going to be so good if we make it like there's a fight between us. Maybe it'll come out. Maybe there really is. But I'm just very skeptical. All right, let's move on. In a shocking twist, Vander Von Ott enters the lab, only to reveal she is this season's ex or sister. For this week's Fright Feat, the monsters pull pins out of a voodoo doll in hopes of winning an advantage. Dahlia Black pulls a red pin, which gains her the advantage of sending one of the monsters straight to extermination. All right, let's move on here. For this week's floor show, the monsters must recreate a classic Halloween archetype and participate in a lip sync in teams to a Boulet Brothers song at a Halloween house party. We can stop right here, actually. Any big thoughts on Vander Von Odd or the... that's it, on Vander Von Odd?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I genuinely would have been excited if she joined the show. I mean, I get what you're saying that, she's a powerhouse and she doesn't need it, but it would have been awesome to see her compete again. So that would have been great. But I don't know. I'm glad that she's going to be on the show, though. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Hopefully she'll give them like actual advice and be like, hey, stop sucking. Like with
honestly,
Jahara.
I think they've been having these exorcisters on just to, again, this is something weird about the Boulets. I think they're turning into RuPaul, which is so funny because this show I felt started as an answer, like an RuPaul's Drag Race. But which is funny because RuPaul still does the table visits and the mini challenges. But what I'm saying is like RuPaul is I don't think they like to get up in the whole geesh. They used to videotape the segments and have them watch it. Now they have the exorcisters come in and do it for them. They don't want to do it. And they don't want to be seen in boy drag. Because here's what's funny, and they talk about this. They're on set every day. The girls can see them. They're there, like, essentially, they've said, like, really coaching the girls, especially on the floor show. They're telling the girls what to do. They're there coaching the girls and giving them direction on how to do what they want. And they're there behind the cameras, too, during these moments. They're watching the entire time. So they're there. When Vander Von Odd is there, they're there. I'm assuming in their boy drag, but they're there. And so Vander Von Odd's job is just to really do what they do. I don't have much to say about it. I mean, like I said, I think I said this earlier, it was fun to see her because I know she used to work for the show for a few seasons.
Yeah.
Then the rumor is, I don't know if it's true, allegedly, they had a falling out and there was beef, but they've clearly made up and she's back. And I actually think she's really good at hosting. They should really consider her giving her more things to do. I think she's really good at it.
Yeah. I mean, I like her. I would love to see her again. So, yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the workroom. Back in the lab, I mean. I put workroom here because I forgot it was called the lab on my notes. The teams rehearse their choreography for the lip sync performance. Dahlia leads the choreo in her group, while Priscilla leads the socializing, spending a lot of her time talking to the other monsters. JK helps choreograph part of their team's performance, while also arguing with Cynthia about their social media behavior. Eva bores her team with her incessant chatter, while Disasterina reflects on feeling grateful for being invited back. It's floor show day, and the monsters walk into the lab and are greeted with free makeup. In the confessionals, we learn that Dahlia feels her team will underperform because of their overconsumption of alcohol. Meanwhile, after some prodding, Dahlia admits she will use her advantage on heavy hitters, calling out Eva Destruction by name. All right, let's stop there. Anything on that lab part 2, floor show day, all that?
I love how we get to we have like this whole long like table talk that didn't need to go on that long, and then the next scene is so we are in our groups. No idea how we got in our groups. No idea how they pick. I'm with so and so and so and so and so and so.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're right. So after what Lauri's talking about is after they announce the challenges, we just cut, and I think in a confessional someone says, "Yeah, we're just in our groups now," and we don't know how they got in these groups or anything.
Not at all.
No.
They just are like, I'm with these people. They don't even say like I picked them. They're just like, I'm with these people.
Yes.
So yeah, that was fun. I will say that Dahlia Black is complicated for me because I feel like I'm kind of getting there with Apora too. I find her so thoroughly annoying, but she does have great looks. So I'm like, okay. And the judges do seem to like her. She did go far in her episode, in her season. So I'm like, okay, she is a contender, but she's just so annoying. It's just, she's one of those people who I feel like has to put herself as like a victim or somebody that's being, not necessarily a victim, but somebody that's being put upon, And it's just like, okay. And then she'll accuse people of stuff. And then when they say, I don't like when you accuse me of stuff, she's like, I didn't do that. So she's just constantly, being a, manipulative person. So I don't know. I didn't like her.
One of the things I always annoyingly pride myself on is that I call balls and strikes.
Oy vey. Okay.
You've heard this before, right?
Yeah. Yes, I've heard you say that.
But the thing that I'm going to say, though, is there are times where I will admit I may not see balls and strikes, but at least I'm going to call out that I don't see balls and strikes.
Yeah.
So I see balls and strikes on me not seeing balls and strikes.
Okay.
And I'm going to admit there might be a blind spot with me with Dahlia Black.
Because you find her cute.
I think she's a very cute boy. I think she's I like a pretty femme boy. Unfortunately, I'm straight now. But with my girlfriend, not my girlfriend, she's not my girlfriend, my potential rekindling with my girlfriend, Aiden.
Uh-huh.
But Dahlia Black is a very pretty boy. And so I will admit, because you're saying these things, and I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying I don't see this, but I'm willing to concede maybe I don't see it because I think Dahlia's really pretty.
Yeah.
So I will give you that. In this workroom, when they're in the teams, they're in some weird workroom that isn't there. It isn't the laboratory.
No, it's not. It's like almost like a green room that's backstage in there, where they like hang out in between.
Yeah. It's
like
something weird.
Scenes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love how, they cut together like all this stuff of like Priscilla going and talking to a bunch of people and Eva talking and all that, it was kind of, I thought that was funny. I like that. They did that.
Loris is giving me JoJo Siwa, and I wanted to know if that's why you like, is Loris your Dahlia Black?
No, I don't find her cute. No, I like
you
her
have
because
a big fan of. You think JoJo Siwa is so hot?
No, I don't. When did I ever say that?
You've said it multiple times, Laura.
I've never said it in my entire life. I do not find JoJo Siwa
Maybe because
hot.
she's not lesbian. You know what? You're mad because she's not a lesbian anymore.
No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't find JoJo. I don't even. She's not even in my universe. So yeah, I could care less.
So you're gonna say right here on the record that you don't find JoJo Siwa hot?
Yes.
Do you agree that Loris is giving JoJo Siwa?
I don't even know what that means. Because I haven't seen enough of JoJo Siwa to know what that means. Is it like try hard or what is?
No, just the way she looks.
Oh. I mean, maybe. I guess they kind of look similar.
Okay. All right, you were gonna say something.
I just totally lost track of what I was gonna say. So, you're JoJo Siwa.
Well, yeah, because you're so turned on by this JoJo Siwa.
Gross.
Oh, by the way, I got to run something by you,
Also,
Lauri.
like, she's super young. She's super weird. I don't know. Gross.
I got to run something by you because you're a co-host,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So there are different kinds of ads. Let me explain the ad business to you, all right?
Okay,
There's something
you.
called dynamic.
Let's take time out of this podcast to do this.
There's something called dynamic ads, okay?
Great.
And so we have a break, and in the break, those ads can change all the time, okay? There's a feature they can do that. My ad agency deals with that. Mm-hmm. But there's also something where people pay more money for something called a baked-in ad.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And my ad agency always comes to me, and I can approve it or disapprove it. It's up to me whether I want this baked-in ad. And there's somebody, where is it? Oh, here it is. Reached out to me. They want to do baked-in ads on the show. I've never heard of them. I don't use them. Something called the Drag Podcast Federation.
No, you goddamn son of a bitch. You made me listen to all that boring crap just for this setup.
But Lauri, what are you talking about? This company wants to start doing baked-in ads.
I swear to fucking God, I'm not doing this again.
Drag.
I am not doing this again.
We have a drag podcast. We're not part of this.
I told you this already. I'm not doing this again.
Well, you wouldn't have to do anything. They just want to put baked-in ads.
Tell Jeremy I hate him. This is the reason why you guys started talking again, wasn't it? So you could do this drag podcast. I don't know
Federation what you're talking about, Lauri.
This is the whole reason. Your joy and annoying the crap out of me is what brought you two back together.
Eva Destruction. They complain about her talking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you something. You can tell, even though I show little clips, she is one of those fucking bitches that doesn't shut the fuck up.
She does not. And she also, does. She also keeps saying she needs to be articulate and clear. You know, when she like, especially in that one scene where she's like, I need to be articulate and clear, but she's never clear. She's never.
No.
You never tells 100% the story.
No.
Also, can I just say, her confessional is the worst confessional look I've seen. Her hair looks crappy, and it looks like she's got a booger black booger coming out of her nose.
Yes, there is something like that. You're right.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is there's a certain type of gay that makes my skin crawl.
Yes.
Okay. And a certain type of gay and I'm going to call it, and I know for 95% of our audience, this is going to make no sense. And so what I'm telling you, young people who don't know what I'm talking about, to learn what kind of gay I'm talking about, I need you to use your Google skills or go on YouTube and look up Jim J. Bullock. And now, by the way, Jim J. does not spell his name J-I-M for Jim. It's J-M, the letter J, Bullock. Jim J. Bullock. Laura, you know who Jim J. Bullock is?
I do not.
Jim J. Bullock was this actor in the 80s. It's one of these things that still in the 80s, they had coded gay. So in other words, they never said he was gay.
Oh, okay. I see him now. I know who he is.
Yeah. And he's coded gay. And then he was just on game shows and stuff like that and started hosting shows. I think he hosted a show with Tammy Faye Baker. He looks and sounds like Eva Destruction. And so that's why I think Eva Destruction is a Jim J. Bullock gay. I haven't practiced my Eva Destruction impression yet, but you know who she kind of sounds like. And if you don't listen to our Drag Race recaps, you don't know. There's an old gay in Palm Springs that I hired to critique the looks named Mr. Blackstone. She kind of is like a Mr. Blackstone, Jim J. Bullock type gay.
Yeah, yeah. Her voice is grating. She looks like she smells like one big armpit.
Yeah.
She just, and then her confessional look, honestly, I can't even listen to what she's saying because I'm just like, why the hell would you have that on your nose? It looks terrible.
She looks like one of these gays, and this is a visual, who like makes her point and then does this. Like, well, I just think Dahlia should go home.
Yeah, like shrugs her shoulders.
And looks up at the sky and has her mouth open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the duh.
Yeah. She's very self-centered. She's very, she thinks she's the smartest person in the room.
Oh,
definitely.
Eva Destruction thinks she is the smartest person in the room. She thinks she has figured this whole fucking thing out and everyone should just listen to her. She's really obnoxious.
And here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
This is why I feel like that there's sexism in towards the end, because we'll get to it, but so just remember that you said that.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So I thought that was fun that they did that. They kept talking about the choreography like it was like this elaborate choreography, and it was not.
No, it was literally, I could do it. It was like
yeah, doing like the Michael Jackson monster.
Oh yeah, like the Thriller dance, but just like
Thriller.
Like if you're in a wheelchair kind of version,
just slower. Yeah.
Let's talk about Disasterina. She does this thing where she's inconsistent with her accent. Sometimes she's like, hello, this is me, Disasterina, and I don't know what I'm doing here. And then sometimes she's just like, well, I'm here. So it's good to be here. I'm glad I'm here. And you're like, well, keep it consistent, even though I'd rather she not do the accent.
I mean, look, she's a train wreck, and I think that's why people love her. She's just all over the place. She's not long for this show, I don't think, but she's just. Star was really excited when she was on the show.
She started crying, Lauri.
She did not start crying.
She got super emotional, started crying. I can't believe it was such an amazing time for me. You know who she's like with this accent? This Hilaria Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
¿Cómo se dice? Sucks?
Yeah.
Jaharia, this is my last note. At one point, she says, she's actually fighting with us as the viewer. She's all like, well, if you don't like it, you all liked what I did, and you all brought me back. I'm like, we did? I don't remember voting.
Nobody voted for you. Nobody.
Yeah.
So
I forgot she was on.
This is why I feel like this was a show where people just said, these are the people who just said yes.
Yeah.
Is that these are, Jaharia is on the show.
Okay, let's go to the Extermination Day. Big product placement. Even, sometimes the producers do this. and I have to strike it from the record. I speak in jury duty talk now, Lauri.
Yeah.
Is
Objection.
They put, overruled. They actually will put the product name in there. I have to like take it out of the script. I'm like, no, we're not doing free product. Like, look, this drag something or whatever federation, they're going to have to pay if they want a baked-in ad.
They're going to have to pay me if they want a baked-in ad. They're going to have to pay me $500.
Lady, Lauri, I'll tell the ad agencies you want them to pay you, and then we can
Yes.
do the baked-in ads.
Yeah,
Will you read the ad if they pay
Sure.
you?
Okay. I'll read it for $5,000, but they have to give me $500 if they want to just be in there.
Oh, okay. I'll pass it along.
All right.
You know?
Great.
So let's talk about this moment where Dahlia's essentially saying that she doesn't think they're going to be that good because Jade and Priscilla didn't take it seriously and were essentially fooling around, and even says drinking.
Yeah. Which, worried me a little bit because Priscilla, as we know from her season, was like detoxing off drugs.
Yeah.
Now, I know that alcohol and drugs are not the same thing, but, addictions tend to go together.
Yes.
So.
There's somebody I know who's an addict, no longer uses, but is an addict, and is on Adderall. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but the way this person ingests the Adderall is like a drug addict.
Well, I started listening to this podcast called Hooked.
Yeah.
Which is about this guy who robbed 30 banks in a year, and he was addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
And the whole beginning of the episode, or the first episode, was like, no one could ever think that he would become addicted to heroin. Well, come to find out, he was an alcoholic when he was a teenager and had to go to rehab.
Yeah.
And then, through a series of, he hurt his back, he got surgery, he got OxyContin, and then he started stripping off the OxyContin gel pills and smoking them. And then, the story's crazy, but it's just like, yeah, of course. Who wouldn't have thought that he would be a drug addict? Like, he was an alcoholic. So.
And then we have Jade coming for Dahlia because of the alcohol thing. It's like, we just took a shot. It was weird. So I actually, and again, I'm willing to admit my blind spots here. I believe Dahlia.
I don't believe Dahlia, but I also don't believe Priscilla and Jade.
Okay.
So I think that it's somewhere in the middle. I don't think that they just had one shot, but I think that they, I don't think they drank as much as Dahlia is making it out to be. Yeah. Because here's what I think. I think, because I don't know if you've met these kind of people, but I have. I think they're the kind of people who don't count beer as alcohol.
Well, there's
they
also
count hard liquor as alcohol.
Oh, I see. And then there's California sober, where they don't drink alcohol, but they smoke pot.
Yeah. But because I know some people who are like, they'll be like, oh, I'm fine. I just had like, 2 shots. And it's like, yeah, but you had 6 beers. It's like, well, that doesn't count. That's just beer.
So let me ask you a question. And let's stay in the narrative of the show here. But how do you feel about Dahlia saying she's going to eliminate what she sees as a strong competitor? I know it's something you bitch about.
I think that's great, but then we got to talk about who she actually tries to eliminate. But yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great that she did. I think it's great that everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, okay, I'm ready to see it. And then, I felt like it fell a little flat, but.
Yeah. Well, that's why the Boulets keep it so they can still manipulate things,
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about this music video. The floor show and the lip sync are sort of combined together. The monsters star in the sequel to the Halloween House Party in their take on classic costumes and lip sync to Trick or Treat by the Boulet Brothers. Lauri, we're going to get to the looks right now. Lauri and I spoke, and we sent a selection of looks to the ghost host, who has sent them back to me, and I have them here. But let's go team by team and just talk about the general video per se. We could talk about looks too if you want. But so team 1 was Abhora. She was a scarecrow. Disasterina was some sort of like sorceress. Frankie Doom was a werewolf, and Loris was a skeleton, which she said was an homage to the Boulets. Did you have any big, strong thoughts on Team 1?
Honestly, I'm shocked that Disasterina and Loris weren't considered more to be in the bottom. I didn't think they did very well at all.
Oh, it could be in their performance or their looks?
Yeah, and their I thought Loris had a good look.
I actually really liked Disasterina's look.
I did not. I didn't
really?
like it.
Okay.
But I also thought she didn't do very well either. But I think because Abora did such a good job that it just sort of like kept them safe.
Yeah, they rode her coattails.
Yeah, I was shocked. And also I think they're very lucky that Abora got picked. No, actually they just did Frankie. But I thought that I was like, I thought this was like one of the worst groups, to be honest with you. If Abora wasn't in that group, this would have sucked hard.
Next, we have Group 2, which was Dahlia Black as an alien, Jade Jolie as a wicked witch, and Priscilla Chambers as almost like a disco glam werewolf.
Yeah. I thought they were cute.
Yeah,
I thought they were,
cute.
yeah. I mean, Dahlia made it seem like there was no way they could learn their choreography, and it was just such simple choreography that I was just like, I did think it was sad that because what's so crazy is they didn't have them lip sync the whole song. They just had them lip sync certain parts. And so I was like, why couldn't you just memorize your part? Like, why, so it just was weird.
Well, I think they each had them do the whole song and then they spliced it together.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Group 3, we have Cynthia Doll the vampire, Blackberry as a mummy, Jaharia as the Black Widow, and JK, again, another werewolf. Your thoughts here?
I thought they did well. I mean, overall, I was okay with it. Yeah.
I think everybody did pretty well, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, the only team that I thought would have been worse was the Abora's one, but that was just because, I felt like Abora was... But yeah, I thought they did good. I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Going back to Jade Jolie, we should mention that it was very obvious she did not know the words at all.
Oh, very obvious. Yeah.
And honestly, should probably have been up for an extermination, but they let the people decide. Group 4 was Eva Destruction as the Grim Reaper, La Zavaleta as a ghost, which leads to confusion later, and Sigourney Beaver as the devil. What did you think here?
Oh, can we go back to
Yes.
I want to go back to because Cynthia Doll, her argument later on is that she was in character, and that's why she didn't worry too much about the lip sync.
Yeah.
And it was like, bitch, this is a lip sync competition, and it just looked bad. It didn't look good. Like their team was good up until that part when she was just not lip syncing, and it didn't look like it was I didn't notice character. Like I didn't see, this is her character. I thought she doesn't know the lyrics.
I agree.
Yeah.
And also too is Sigourney Beaver. I want to go to. We should mention this here because it comes up in the Boulets. They have like a little portion where they just talk to each other. And in that one, we learn that what's her name? Dragula was told
Dragula.
that they didn't know what La Zavaleta was, and a producer told her it was Nosferatu's girlfriend.
Yeah,
but it turned out to be a ghost, and that comes up later. All right. Well, with that, why don't we go to the ghost host who sent an intro to his whole segment?
Ooh.
And we're gonna go with that first. Here we go.
Welcome, my delicious degenerates, to the social event of the sinister season, the Mad Monster Party. Tonight, the undead arrive dressed to kill, and every creature of couture has RSVP'd straight from the crypt. So, polish your fangs, powder your pallor, and prepare for a parade of unholy glamour that would make even Frankenstein faint.
All right. Well, Lauri, that was our little welcome from the ghost host. Thank you, ghost host. And the first one we chose, Lauri and I chose who to submit. The first one we chose was Eva Destruction, who ended up winning the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I will say right now, I thought her look was great. Lauri,
I thought she did have a great look. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Eva Destruction.
From the shadows she rises, a skeletal specter cloaked in darkness and neon decay. Her ribcage glows with the sickly light of the grave, a scythe in hand to remind us that death, too, can be fashioned forward. She is the final flicker between life and afterlife. A vision of glamour at the edge of the abyss.
Okay, very interesting. Any other thoughts? We probably should be giving our thoughts after the thing. Any other thoughts on Eva Destruction? I thought it looked great. It looked kind of like, this guy, I don't know who this ghost host is, but he sounds like the ghost host from the Haunted Mansion at Disney.
Yeah, he does.
And
maybe that's his brother.
Yeah, maybe they're brothers. And Disney World. Calm down, Florida. But, do you think perhaps it seemed like she kind of modeled from the bride at that ride too? There's the bride there's a bride character that sort of has this look.
Oh yeah. It does. Yeah, it does give that with the skeleton and everything. Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's move on now to La Zavaleta, who was portraying a ghost.
This one was so stupid.
Here we go.
She drifts between worlds, hath formed and fully fierce. A restless spirit bound in shreds of gray and silver. With her spectral twin at her side, this ghost refuses to fade quietly into the afterlife. Her presence chills the room, a haunting whisper of beauty that refuses to die.
All right. Any thoughts on La Zavaleta's look?
I thought it was the worst look.
It was very bad.
Also, this look made me worried for her because, if you remember her entrance look was like essentially a bathrobe and a towel.
Yeah.
And then this is like essentially a sheet. So I'm like, does she have money? Is she just like showing up with like all the possessions she has and just throwing things together? So yeah, this was bad.
Not a good look for La Zavaleta. Not a good look. It looked very cheap, very lazy. I think if the Boulets were to have been choosing, she and Jay Jolie for sure would be up for extermination.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%. All right, let's move on now. Next we have Priscilla Chambers. Priscilla Chambers, here we go. Who was a disco werewolf.
When the moon hits the mirror ball, the beast within begins to boogie. In molten orange lame and a mane of golden fury, she's the disco werewolf you never saw coming. All howl and hot pants. Her bite may be fatal, but her rhythm is eternal.
Wow, very, very dramatic. What do you think of Priscilla Chambers' look?
I thought it was cute. I liked it. I thought it was cute.
What I will say, what I said earlier, that she looks like an old lady who smoked a lot. I will say what I'll give Priscilla is she leans into that look, which makes the looks work.
Yeah.
So she knows what she looks like and she leans in, which I think is good.
She has like I don't know if it's, I'm trying to figure out if it's just like a heightened version of her, but she has like she knows that she's a character and she sort of like plays that up a little bit.
All right. Very good. And then finally we have Sigourney Beaver. Lauri wants to hear Sigourney Beaver. Here we go.
Hellfire has,
by the way, she's like a devil.
Never shimmered so seductively. Draped in sapphire and sin, this devil tempts the damned in rhinestone and velvet, proving that damnation can be dazzling. One look and you'll sell your soul just for the chance to burn beside her.
I'm going to say the Ghost Host is really delivering this episode.
Yeah,
I
like these.
Giving
I like
100%.
these descriptions.
Well, also much shorter. Remember last year they were super long, and we were like,
they were. Yeah, I was like, all right, you just
the
like
Ghost
to hear
Host
yourself
did
talk.
right. Did you have any thoughts on Sigourney Beaver?
Yeah, I liked it overall, but then there were some parts when she was dancing or moving her arms where you could tell that like her underarm wasn't fully covered.
Yeah, that's what
So I
they
was
kind
like,
of pointed out. Yeah.
And so I was like, and then I do kind of agree. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I think it was like Swan who said that contouring, and I was like, oh yeah, the contouring I feel like on her face would have really been a good thing. So.
Yeah. All right, well, the ghost host said a little goodbye message, and let's play it right now.
And as the final toast is made and the bats return to their belfries, our mad monster party comes to its wicked end. The dance floor is stained with glitter and grave dust alike, a reminder that in this house of horrors, fashion is forever undead.
A very spooky goodbye, but okay. Until next week, ghost host.
Cryptic.
Cryptic, yeah. I wish I sounded like that. I wish I could talk like that.
That would be fun.
I think it's a very cool way to talk.
Yeah, if you could have that kind of, you could do that at parties and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'd be delivering it, impress people and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on here. On the main stage, Eva Destruction is named the winner of the challenge. In a shocking twist, it's revealed the Boulets won't be deciding the ghouls up for extermination. The monsters will vote for the weakest link in their respective teams. After the Boulets save one of the bottom ghouls, the remaining ghouls must participate in the extermination challenge. With her fright feast advantage, Dahlia Black chooses to send Abhorror straight into extermination. Let's go right into the cauldron. The monsters quickly get to work, deciding who they will vote into extermination from their groups. Jade immediately calls out Dahlia as the weakest link in their team. JK names herself. Or no, that'd be a weird one because they're they, them. JK names themselves, and Cynthia Dahl is the weakest links in their team, while Cynthia defends her performance. La Zavaleta identifies Sigourney as the person most people think as their biggest competition. Eva is left to name which teammate will vote for between Zavaleta and Sigourney, prompting Sigourney to pull her aside and confront her in private. Meanwhile, the monsters vaguely call out some of their fellow contestants for acting holier than thou. All right, let's talk about that final judgment. Let's talk about Dahlia choosing to send Abhorror straight into extermination. What are your thoughts here, Lar?
So I didn't get that was what La Zavaleta was trying to do. I could not understand a friggin' thing she was trying to say. I had to rewind it a couple of times to be like, what? I don't understand the point she's trying to make.
I actually, I have a producer that writes this, and so what are you talking about?
In the cauldron when they're talking, she makes that announcement. She's like, all right, everybody, let's we gotta. I know some people think that Sigourney's we can't play nice like the Boulet Brothers said. We gotta just do this the way we want to. I know. Oh yeah. Yes. Like so, what? I could not understand what she's trying to say.
Well, because I think she addresses. Okay. So I think this is my interpretation. I remember this now. This is my interpretation. So last season, they did not have a reunion.
Okay.
They didn't have a reunion because the season before, which I think may have been Zavaleta's season, the reunion got really ugly.
Yeah.
And then people on Reddit started getting involved and started, they act like crazy people and started attacking the girls online and stuff like that. So the Boulets were like, we're not fucking doing this, right?
Yeah.
Now, from what I hear, I believe the reunion is back this year, from what I hear.
Oh, great.
I think. But what Zavaleta is saying is, the Boulets want us to be nicer so as not to instigate the fans. So they start getting all worked up on Reddit and attacking the girls. And he's saying like, hey, Reddit, calm your fuck down. I'm going to go for it. Even though they want us to be nice, I'm going to go for it because this is what makes good TV kind of thing, right? I probably should have pulled that clip, but that was my interpretation. Like,
okay. See, I didn't get that at all. I was like, is he voting for Sigourney because he thinks Sigourney's in the bottom, or why is he voting for Sigourney?
I think he's saying because remember everybody was attacking them that season for coming for Sigourney. He's like, oh, I know who the Sigourney fans are, and they're gonna attack me. I don't care. I'm gonna still. That's how I interpreted it.
Okay.
Granted, I was just watching it and taking notes. I could have missed it. I was too busy staring at Dahlia Black and how pretty she is.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and then also Eva, when they asked Eva, one of the things that was frustrating was she took forever to say something, but then everybody kept interrupting her.
Yeah.
Like, and so she literally started talking and Blackberry's like, it's an easy answer. It's like, well, let her answer. But then she takes forever to say. She says two things, right? She says two different answers in one. She says she wants to see Sigourney sweat, and she said that she got the most critiques, or she feel like not critiques. She feel like La Zavaleta brought more in the performance. So it can't be both. It's clear to me that Eva finds Sigourney her competition, so she wants to put her in the bottom. But she's not going to say that because she doesn't want Sigourney to know that she thinks she's competition.
Yeah.
So I just this is one of the many reasons why I hate Eva.
There's a part where they're talking about who they're going to vote for, and Jade openly says she wasn't the worst one. I'm like, bitch, you didn't know the words.
Yeah, that was dumb. I think, honestly, they were just like, we're going to vote for Dahlia because she's annoying. But yeah, you didn't know, clearly didn't know the words.
Yeah.
You were terrible.
Let's talk about that moment with Eva destruction, and she's going to vote for Sigourney. And then Sigourney pretty much tells her, like, okay, but do it at your peril.
This annoys me because, and they did this many times throughout the episode where they're like, they don't know who they're messing with, or, they're getting on the wrong side, or I'm coming back for blood. It's like, what are you going to do? Like, there's very limited amount of times they give the contestants power to do anything. There's no way, you can't do anything to like fuck with them, unless they're going to give them more instances. But
on this one, I'll give Sigourney this. I think she's saying that she's constantly underestimating her. And that it'd be more valuable to have her as a friend than as an enemy. But okay, that's what you're going to want to do. I get what you're saying. Well, she can't really do anything. Yeah. But there might come a time when she needs her. And I think a lot of the queens underestimate Sigourney. And I'm not saying that her skill level, but how much do Boulets like her and sort of protect her?
But see, here's the thing. I think it's honestly sexism. And they show it in the workroom. Because when we talked about Eva in the beginning about how she thinks she's the smartest person in the room. And she shows it in that argument. She shows that she thinks she's the smartest person in the room. Yet everybody says that Sigourney Beaver is uptight because she thinks she's going to get to the finale. Why wouldn't she? Why is she on the competition? And then they claim that thinking you're quote unquote better than somebody means that it's different than thinking you're going to win. No, it's not. It's not. If I think I'm better, if I think I'm funnier or I'm a better comedian than you, I'm going to think I'm going to beat you. Yeah. Like, that doesn't, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit excuse to shit on somebody. And it's just like, I don't know. It's very frustrating.
All right, let's move on. Back on the main stage, the votes are counted, and Dahlia, Frankie, and Sigourney are voted for extermination. On Blackberry's team, there's a tie between JK and Cynthia. Blackberry and Jaharia are forced to break the tie and ultimately decide to send Cynthia into extermination. The Boulets choose to save Sigourney, leaving Dahlia, Frankie, Cynthia, and Abora up for extermination. For this week's extermination challenge, they must hike 5 miles of the bridge to nowhere and bungee jump off the bridge. We are left on a cliffhanger as to which monster was eliminated. Lauri, any final thoughts on the episode? What happened on the main stage? All that.
Do you think that they actually talked when they went in that side conversation, Jaharia and Blackberry, and were thinking of who? Because to me, when I was looking at it, it just felt like they were going, like pretending to say words.
To me, I'm just like, who's the one that they chose? Cynthia, and they got mad?
Cynthia, yeah.
And she's like, Superman, like, they have to choose somebody.
Well, to be fair, I have conflicting thoughts because one, she claims this thing about how like they're friends, and if they were up for elimination, they went, and it's like, no, bitch, you would do the same thing. Like, so don't pretend like it's not a competition. But secondly, she did say, and it does show in the workroom when Eva and, which I think is funny that they didn't show like the actual video of it, but when Eva and Sigourney were talking, Jaharia and Cynthia made a pinky promise. And so Cynthia was like, so I think it's kind of shitty that Jaharia was like, made this pinky promise she wouldn't put her in the bottom, but then put her in the bottom.
Yeah.
So,
let's talk about that extermination challenge. We've seen it before, actually, just a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, it was okay.
I still hold that they don't walk the whole way. And it has nothing to do, they don't want to be mean to them. They're not going to do that to them. Can you imagine making one of their crew carry a fucking camera on their back for 5 miles? With lighting and everything?
Why is it that they always have to go through like this like river or something? Yeah. It's just such a weird. I don't even think that's the route to the bridge.
Bridge to nowhere. Yeah. Yeah, I think they go, we're going to film this, we're going to film that, and then they drive them back at the end.
Yeah.
And then, because then they'd have to have a whole crew waiting there for them. You don't know how long it's going to take with the 5 miles, you know? You can estimate, but especially if it's hard, you're going to have people waiting there. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
Anyway, any other final thoughts on the episode?
No, that's it.
If you had to guess who was going home, who do you think? If they might not even send anybody home, but if they do send somebody home, who do you think it'll be?
You know, I was thinking about this. I feel like first I felt like it was Cynthia, but then now I'm thinking Frankie, because I feel like Frankie was just sort of a nothing burger on the episode.
Yeah.
So I feel like the producers are like, okay, who could we afford to get rid of right now?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Cynthia is a big personality.
She is.
I think they want to keep her on for a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And Frankie just hasn't really brought anything. I mean, we haven't talked about her once.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Hello Uglies. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of Dragula Titans Season 2. So for Lauri and Kay Roggenkamp and myself.
So long, Uglies!
Thanks for creeping it real with us here on Hello Uglies. Got a bone to pick or praise to raise from the dead? Email us at hellouglies@afterthought.media. Want your voice to haunt our next episode? Leave us a scream at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. If you want to keep our crypt open and the blood flowing, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This episode was brewed and stitched together by Dennis Escalero. A monstrously huge thank you to our expensive tier ghouls over on Patreon. You keep our coffins company. Hello Uglies is an Afterthought Media production. Until next time, stay spooky, stay sickening, and remember, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone.